Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Savannah if you are new here. If not, welcome back. As you guys may know, I recently just moved into my own apartment with my boyfriend at 19. I've been getting a lot of questions about just how life's been since I moved out, moving out at a young age, how I was able to afford it, just many different questions. So I wrote down a bunch of questions. I literally wrote down like 4 pages of notes. I'm not even kidding. Wrote down, not even playing, 4 notes of questions and stuff that I wanted to talk about. And some of them I have like little notes on things that I want to make sure I hit and pinpoints that I want to hit. So I'm also going to be talking about how we found our apartment, things that you should probably ask the people if you're looking for an apartment, what to look for, different things like that. So this is hopefully going to be a very informational video for you guys. So if you are interested in learning about me moving out, my 1 month of like, it's been 1 month. We actually, well, hold on. It'll be 7 weeks tomorrow that we have been living on our own. So yeah, it's been very, very exciting. It's been a great journey so far. So I can't wait to share some of the things that I have. So getting right into it, the first question is, why did you rent versus a house? So very easy answer. We're super young. We definitely, I mean, like, I would love to have a house in the future, but I'm not really ready to like 100% settle down to a house. I think I like the ability to get up and move whenever I want of the apartment. So I mean, obviously you do have to sign a lease and stuff, but it's a lot less binding than a house would be. So that's just personally what we wanted to do. I like the apartment lifestyle. Next question is favorite thing about the apartment. So personally for me, my favorite thing so far has just been the freedom as well as like the alone time that I get. So, well, I mean, I never really had, when I was like, once I turned like 18, I never really had to tell my parents where I was going or anything. But, you know, I just like go and come as I please. I don't really have to really tell anyone where I'm going or anything like that. So I really, really like that. And then there's also a lot of alone time that comes with it. So both of those things combined have probably been like my most favorite parts of it. Maybe this question was not meaning like favorite thing about like living on my own, but favorite thing about the apartment itself. Favorite thing about the apartment itself, I don't know. The amenities that this apartment offers is just so amazing. I love being able to sit out on my balcony and have the courtyard in front of us. I prefer the Zen Garden, that's what it's called, over the other one, which is like the pool area. I just prefer this area because it's so much more calm. There's no one ever like coming around here. It's just like literally always calm. And even when people sit outside and hang out, it's never like too loud or too rowdy. So I really do love that. They have a little like fun pool yard, courtyard area where it has like ping pong, Jenga, Connect 4, a TV, a really cool like little chill hangout area, which is really, really nice. The pool's amazing, the gym is amazing, and then they have the amazing view, which is a big thing that we were like really, really loving these apartments for, was the view. It literally, you see the entire downtown skyline, and that is just beautiful. How did you figure out how much you needed to save? For me personally, I have been saving ever since I started making money on YouTube, which was around like early of the year of 2019. So I would say probably around like January, February is when I like got my first paycheck. So I literally, as soon as I started making money and my parents saw that like I was getting as much money as I was getting, we immediately started investing and saving. So I've been saving literally ever since 2019. So that's just personally what I did. But if you are not like on that time frame, obviously I would start saving as early as you can. If you are thinking about moving out in like the next couple of years, I would start saving as soon as possible. But if you are not like saving for years, then I would definitely suggest to have at least 3 months rent saved up, but preferably probably like 6 to 9 months more so, just so that way you're able to at least like have those months paid. So that way you don't have to like worry about your bills or anything like that. You can just like focus on working and making more money for your like bills to come in the future. So I would definitely make sure that you at least have minimum 3 months rent saved up, but I would definitely suggest more so like 6 months to like your full year saved up, just so that way you're playing it safe. Did it make your relationship stronger? Hold on, I'm gonna fix this a little bit. I don't really like the way it looks. Okay, back to the question. Yes, it did make our relationship so much stronger. I feel like we're so much more bonded now. We're just like way closer, way more comfortable. Things that like we didn't really do around each other before, we do now, obviously because we live together. But you know, sometimes people say moving out, you're gonna really see who a person is, and that is 100% true. You're really gonna see all the like little knick-knack naggy things about someone. So definitely you're gonna learn who someone is whenever you move in with them. For us personally, it has made us stronger, but I also do want to really basically put this disclaimer in there because we did move out at 19, but I do not want to make it seem like it is just all fairy tale and like fun and games and it's just like been amazing, like, because I don't want you guys to be like, oh well, she did it so we can do it and it's gonna be great. Everyone's story is different, so just because like my situation might be some way, that doesn't mean your situation is gonna be the same. So definitely take everything I'm saying with like a grain of salt. Like, this is my experience, so just keep that in mind. I don't want to push it in anyone's head that they need to move out with their significant other at a young age, like anything like that. How did you handle being away from your parents? So honestly, for me personally, it hasn't really been hard yet. For him, it's probably a lot harder because his mom's all the way in Louisiana, but for me personally, it has not been that hard because like I see my family like once a week. I'm not even kidding. So I do keep up with my mom, my sister, we FaceTime, I talk to my grandparents, you know, I talk to pretty much everybody just as much as I did whenever I was living at home. It honestly really hasn't been that hard, and I think the reason for that is because when I was home, I really would just sit in my room all the time, or I would just always be editing, always be working, or I would be at my friend's house, like I was always gone, or I'd be with him. So for the most part, I was really always out of the house anyways, or I was always in my room if I was home. So yeah, it just kind of feels the same. Top things that you miss living with your parents. I definitely miss being with my mom and my nephew. I miss like so much seeing my nephew just grow on a daily basis, and I don't even want to talk about that too much because it's gonna make me cry, and I don't need to cry. But I just miss being around him all the time. And then I miss my mom. Like, my mom's my best friend. Can't talk about this too much either because I will cry and I do not want to be an emotional person right now. But yeah, I miss them too the most. So I would say that's probably what I miss. And then I do miss my animals and stuff, but definitely I miss them too the most. Do you get overwhelmed with bills? So for right now, money and bills and stuff are not really like things that stress me out too much. I have plenty of money saved up. We're both in pretty good financial position to afford everything that we have. So money or bills are not really like a stressor for me at the moment. How do you know when to move in with the right person? So honestly, you're not gonna know. I didn't know. Anything can happen, so you're never gonna know 100% sure like if this is the right person. You know, you just have to go for it. So honestly, you're not gonna know. You just have to work on it and move day by day. Also, I want to say there's no right way to do things. You know, people think you're supposed to date, then get married, then move in together, then have babies. There's no right way to do things. You do things the way that you want to do them, the way that you think are going to fit your life the best, whatever's going to make you happy. Everybody's on their own journey, and you do not have to follow the traditional way of things or anything like that. So do whatever's going to make you happy and follow the path that life takes you on. Do you feel more productive? So 100% I feel way more productive. I feel like I have so many more things to do rather than like when I was at home. My mom did literally everything, but now I actually have things to do throughout the day, and it just gives me a lot more time to like be productive and actually get things done. But then also I'm kind of like a very independent person and a loner, I guess. I like having people around, like my comfort people. Like I like having Christian around. I love being around Julia. I love being around my mom, you know, like I like being around my comfort people, but I'm also very independent and very like much a loner. I do love to have my alone time. Sometimes we'll be here at the house and like I will just want to go sit out on the balcony by myself and just have that alone time, just so, I don't know, I just feel the safest when I'm with myself. So that's just something that I really value. So I feel like I've just had a lot more time to productive and do the things that I want, as well as just like have that time and freedom to do other things. When you moved out, were you nervous? I was literally extremely nervous, you guys. Like I was so nervous. I had conversations with Julia just about like, you know, am I doing the right thing? And I talked to my mom, you know, like I was nervous. Like I didn't know if I was gonna be ready for this. And it was kind of hard for me because when I first told my mom, like she literally cried. She's probably not gonna be happy with me telling you this, but like she wasn't the happiest at first. And I think that's just because I literally texted her that I was moving out because I was very scared. And so I texted her that I was thinking about it, and she was just like, so this is how you tell me? So basically when she had digested it, it was a lot better and she was a lot more nice about it. My dad never really cared, but just like that. And then I think everybody was just like, are you ready for this? Are you sure you're ready for this? All of those questions, I never really heard someone be like, you know what, I'm proud of you. Like, I'm so happy that this is what you want to do. I'm so excited for you on this journey. It was never those conversations. It was always, you know, you're gonna have this responsibility and this and this and this. And that was just very defeating and made me very anxious and nervous about it, because I just was constantly being told like, are you sure you're ready for this? Like, are you gonna be able to handle this? Whenever someone's not building your confidence, I guess, and being like, you know what, you can do this. I'm so excited for you. And they're just only telling you all the negative things, it makes you really nervous, and it was definitely hard. And I think I had family opinions as well as I was worried about what you guys online were gonna say, and it was all fun until right before I moved. I would say probably like the week before or like the days before we moved and like actually it became real. I was extremely anxious and nervous, and it was just because I was so nervous about the unknown, you know, like there was this whole future that I didn't know about. You know, I'm still nervous every single day just to see how see what the future holds for me. But like I said, like I'm really just trying to live my life day by day. For too long was just so worried about everything and worrying about my future, planning all of that type of stuff. So for me personally right now, it's just like day by day, and I'm just kind of doing the decisions that I want to do, making the choices that I want to make. Do you think it's better to move out young or wait? So I think that's completely up to your situation. Do not move out if you're not ready for it, or it's not like a complete like necessity. No one's ever gonna really know if they're able to like do it unless they actually do it, but just try to be as ready as possible. I know that's kind of like a lot, like how do you be ready? But if you can wait, you should. But for me personally, I was ready. I had the money saved up, and this is something that I've always wanted to do, and I knew I was ready for it, and I believed in myself. So that was just the decision that I made for myself, the decision we made for ourselves. Are you happy you moved out, and what are some reasons that you're happy you moved out? So I'm extremely happy that I moved out. I think it's been a really good decision for me personally. Some of the reasons I would say are the freedom, the independence, the growth that I've seen in myself, and then my mental health. I don't want to dive too deep into it because it will make me really emotional, but you guys can probably tell that Christian's back home. Sorry, back to what I was saying. I'm gonna get a little bit quieter now because he was out of the apartment, so that's why I was a little bit more vocal, but now he's back, so I'm gonna try to be a little bit more quiet just because that's what I'm comfortable with. But my mental health was like a big reason that I really wanted to move out. Just relationships with my family weren't the best, certain relationships, and there was just a lot going on, and I don't know, it was just a lot for me. Moving out has been so much better. I don't have any of those stressors anymore. I have different things now, but you know, those were like really big things for me. And regardless if I moved out with Christian or I moved out on my own, I genuinely just wanted to move out and get away from that. So personally for me, overall, I feel like this has been the best decision for me, and I've been able to really grow and thrive, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. So overall, I think it's been great. How is living without pets? So I miss them so much, but I do wish I had one, but I know that right now I definitely don't need one, especially if we got like a puppy. It could probably like scratch up stuff in the apartment, and I don't want to pay for all that. And also just having a pet here is kind of expensive. I think it's like $300 extra a month for a pet here. So yeah, it's a little bit expensive. Plus you have to pay for all the dog, pay for the dog itself, pay for the vet bills, pay for the vet bills, and then their food, all of that. It's a lot of money, and yeah, I definitely think it would like be fun though. How did I afford it? So I have, like I said, I've been saving since February of 2019, and then also we split it 50-50, so that's like a big help. But then also just like whatever's important to you, you're gonna make it happen. So this was extremely important to me, so I made it happen, and that's just that. But how do you manage couples time and alone time? So that's something that we're definitely actively working on. It's been a big change, definitely, because obviously before I was like at home and then we would just hang out when we hung out, so we couldn't get like enough of each other. But now we're with each other literally all the time. So I definitely think like him going to work and me being home that time, it's just been really good for me personally, just because like I love being around him, but I definitely, like I said, I strive off of being alone sometimes. So that's something that we're actively trying to work on and balance, and I think it definitely can take some improvements. Do you still talk to your family as much? So yes, I talk to them literally just as much, just as often. I minimum will go to my house at least, well, my parents' house at least once a week. So yeah, I see them pretty often. I feel like I still see them pretty much a good amount to where like I get just enough of them, but not too much. How is decorating? So we literally have nothing. We have no decorations besides like the kitchen's kind of decorated, and then we have like the bed all done, but we need nightstands. We have a bed frame right now, but we want to get one that like matches the theme and everything. So we need to do bed frame, we need a dresser, decorations for the room, we need decorations for the living room, we need a coffee table, a rug, bar stools. That's a really big thing. We need bar stools. But yeah, we still have lots to go, but we just, I mean, I've been looking on Facebook Marketplace, but we haven't really found anything that we really like, and I don't want to buy anything brand new just because it's so expensive. If you can get just as good from Facebook Marketplace, like there's no shame in my game. I will buy it used. I do not care. Hardest challenges so far. I think the hardest challenges so far has been realizing that life is different. Realizing that, I'm gonna cry. I think I'm just emotional right now. Also, someone is outside in the courtyard, so if you hear them, My camera is, my my microphone's really good, so it might pick it up. I think realizing things are different now. So back to what I was saying, sorry if you heard the dogs, but yeah, things are different. Things are not gonna be the same. Relationships are gonna be different. Your life is literally changing, you know. This is literally like a completely new era of my life. I think I haven't really oh my god, I don't know why this is emotional. I don't think I've 100% detached from I don't think I've 100% detached from life before. And I think that's just been really challenging, just because, you know, obviously things are not the same. Things are not going to be the same, and it's like changing in a really good way, but I think adjusting just to how things are different now. But yeah, enough of that, enough. Also, I think balancing time. I think for me, I really grasp onto my independence and like the career that I've built for myself. I really want to be this strong, independent woman that doesn't need anyone. I only rely on myself and I only need myself. But at a point, you know, you have to balance your spouse's needs as well. I think for me, that's been really hard because I want so hard to like succeed. I want so hard to succeed, and I don't know. I'm so proud of myself, but I'm just gonna like cut this kind of short because I feel like I could literally make this whole question so long. But I think just balancing my time and his time and like both of our needs, at the end of the day, we're gonna do whatever it takes to like work through whatever we need to. So I absolutely love that about us. And even though there's been like challenges that we've came across, we've worked through them and we're actively like working through things. Me and like anxiety and stressing and stuff, sometimes I'll just break down for random reasons and stuff, and he's been really amazing to help like work through that with me and help me to be more comfortable talking whenever I get like that, because sometimes like I will get so overwhelmed or not know what to say and I literally won't be able to form words. So he's been great with that and he's been amazing. Yeah, I think those have just been my hardest challenges so far. Have you made any neighbor friends? We've met people, but we haven't really personally actually made like friends or people that we like talk to on the regular or anything like that. But we have like met people. We know like there's familiar faces that we see now. But yeah, no, we haven't really like made any relationships with anyone. How did you find your apartment? So firstly, we decided like on the location that we wanted to be in. So we knew we wanted to be close to downtown Dallas, but we didn't want to be, well, I personally did not want to be like in the city. We just decided on a location, and then we figured out a price range that worked for both of us and what we could afford, and you know, just those types of things. And once we agreed on all of those factors, then we came to just looking at apartments and stuff. We went and toured apartments in person, but the apps that we used were, or that I personally used to help find apartments as well as him, was apartments.com, apartment list. Those two apps are personally what we used. Yeah, we just kind of searched in, put all of our filters into the apps, and we're able to just look at apartments that way. I will highly recommend that you look through the reviews, really like listen to them, because there was a few apartments that I read the reviews and I instantly just knew that like it wasn't going to be a fit. So make sure you like go tour the apartment, but also read the reviews and just figure out what's going to work best for you, and have your questions ready that you need to ask. Make sure you know what you need to be looking for, all of that, which I am going to give you guys some things that you guys can ask, look for, things like that. But yeah, that's kind of how we like found our apartment. Did you ever think you would be where you are today? Honestly, no. I genuinely thought that I was just gonna like go to university, like a 4-year, and then become a nurse and just like do that whole path, which I would love to still be a nurse, but I never really thought that like this was gonna work out for me. I just kind of went into it and was just hopeful, and it ended up working out, and I'm so thankful that it did. But this has always been my dream. So being a YouTuber and being able to move out and like do all of that has been my dream. So I'm so grateful that my dream did come true. Tips on finding the right apartment. My tips that I could personally give you guys, I'm not the best. I just want to say that like we've only been living here 7 weeks, so this is just kind of my tips that I wrote down or think of off the top of my head. I would say you need to look into the safety. Safety is a really big thing. Make sure you ask, you know, the apartment itself, but also look online. If you can, ask the neighbors. If you see like people around the apartments when you go on a tour, ask them, because they're not gonna just feed you some crap just to get you to apply, you know, like the apartment people probably could. They're gonna just tell you straight up how it is. So definitely use that to your advantage. If you see people in the apartment, definitely ask them. But I would would 100% look into the safety, because you want to make sure you're going to be safe living where you are, especially being in an apartment. Easily people can come in and like rob your apartment. So make sure you have your insurance. Make sure you have good insurance for your apartment, renter's insurance. Also, I would make sure parking safety. So with us personally in our apartment complex, we didn't know about this, but I was told by a tenant or person who lives here that there was some issues going on with the parking garage. So I would definitely make sure that y'all look into that, because it's something that we didn't really look into. But so far we haven't, knock on wood, we haven't had any issues with our cars personally, but we have heard about there being issues with the parking garage. So I would look into that. Next, you need to make sure that you're okay with all of the extra fees. So we have like a trash fee, pest fee, all the like the little other fees that come with the apartment complex. You just need to make sure that you're cool with those and that you're like okay with the prices of them. Also Wi-Fi, so ours personally was included. You could definitely look into that. I don't know, we honestly really didn't know a lot of apartments that did that, but this specific apartment that we had, it's included into the rent, so that's really nice. A big thing, listen to how everything is when you go on the tour. So for me personally, I noticed that whenever we came on the tour for this apartment, that it was super quiet. Like everything was really chill, everyone was really friendly, things like that. I just like loved the community vibe that I got from this apartment complex. So I would really look into that. Make sure you're listening to noises, if there's a lot of sirens going on wherever you're living, etc., things like that, you really need to like listen to them, just because once you're living there, obviously you're gonna have to like deal with all of that. So if that's something that you're not okay with, or like if you're a light sleeper and there's a lot of sirens or anything, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to that. For me personally, so since I work from home, lighting is a big thing. So if you're also like that, or lighting's a big thing to you, and you want to make sure like the sunrise and all of that type of stuff, I would look into that as well. Also, you should ask if it is concrete or wood built. If it's concrete built, or yeah, I'm pretty sure if it's concrete built, it's not going to be as like noisy, but if it's like wood built, it probably is going to be like easier to hear people through the like walls and through the floor and stuff. Oh no, this is not the last question. This is the last question. Is it easy to get an apartment? So that is a big no. It is not easy to get an apartment. For us personally, it was an extremely long process. It was a lot of back and forth and a lot of phone calls, and just like, oh, I would email them and then I have to wait for them to respond. So I would get another question and I have to go back and forth, and it was just like I said, a lot of back and forth, and it was just like a really stressful process. I even went on Patreon and like broke down and was crying and was just like, I don't know if this is a bad sign, because it was just like so stressful that I really started to feel like this apartment was going to be bad luck and that like it just was not going to work out. And then everybody just kind of like reassured me in the comments that pretty much all apartment processes are really stressful, so just to go with it if this is the place that we love the most. So we just went with it and it's been amazing so far. So don't think that the apartment process is just going to be easy. If you get lucky and it's easy, that's great, but it's definitely like, I would just expect it to just be like a very back and forth process. But yeah, so that's kind of like how life has been since moving into the apartment, everything, a little inside scoop. I hope I could answer a lot of questions for you guys, give you some tips if you're looking to move out or anything like that. I know I've been seeing a lot of people ask me for my thoughts and stuff, and just like opinions on them moving out and what to expect and stuff. So I really hope that you guys can find this video to be very informational for you, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up, comment the house emoji in the comments. And yeah, no, comment the house emoji because there's not an apartment emoji. So comment the house emoji in the comments down below. Turn your post notifications on, hit that subscribe button to become part of the Sav Nation, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.